In this short screencast, I'm going to show you how we can analyze a factorial design in Minitab. The example I'm going to be going over is the same example that we worked through in a previous screencast on higher order factorial designs. We've got our coded variables here, and we have our responses. Now, n equals 2, this is a replicated experiment, so we have to keep that in mind. So let's go over to Minitab. The first thing we want to do is go to stat DOE factorial, and we have to create a factorial design. This is the best way to do this. There's a couple options here. We have 3 factors, so we have to change this to 3 factors. We can look at the designs because we want to specify a full factorial design. Next week you're going to learn about a half fraction, fractional factorial designs, but we want to select a full factorial design. We don't have any center points, but we do have 2 replicates. We have 2 replicates of each of what we call corner points. We can select OK, click in Options, and make sure that you deselect Randomize Runs. If you have not yet collected the experimental data, you want to randomize runs because this will kind of tell you the order to put them in, and that's kind of typical if you have not already collected the data. We already have the data, so deselect randomize runs, and that will put it in sort of a standard order. And then we can select OK. It comes out with this. We have our standard order. I never know why it gives us center point and blocks because we don't even use that. But A, B, and C, those are our 3 different factors, and it tells us kind of the standard order there and the various levels. Now that we have that created, we can go back over here to Excel, and I'm going to just copy this, go back over to Minitab, and I'm going to paste here. But you notice that since we selected 2 replicates, it actually has stacked them on top of one another. So let's bring this up. In other words, it has put one of the replicates here, and then it's just repeated itself down here. So this second half is repeated. Our second replicates, I can do Control Cut, Control Paste, Control V, and let's just name this Y for our responses. Now that we've created this factorial design, we can go up here to Stat, DOE, Factorial, Analyze Factorial Design. Click on that. The response is C8, which is our Y value. And there's some different things that you can do here. We're just analyzing to do a quick screening to see which ones are significant. You can mouse around here if you wanted to change the different terms, but by default, it's going to add all of those terms. If you wanted to look at the residuals of the model that's created, you could do that here. But we're just going to go ahead and click OK. And it goes through and it spits out both of the statistical approaches that we've been doing. This top one is the t-distribution based analysis. It's calculating the p-values, the test statistics. And so if you compared this to what we did in Excel, you would see that it's exactly the same. And also it goes through and does the analysis of variance approach. It looks a little different because it's itemizing by linear models, 2-way interactions, and 3-way interactions, but in the end, it's exactly the same. It also spits out this regression equation in uncoded units. That's not entirely true because we put our data in terms of coded units, so this is actually in terms of coded units. So keep that in mind because our data is in coded units. So that's how we can use Minitab to analyze a factorial design.